Hello everybody and welcome to ECE 280 Cooperative Work Experience. And this is a practicum-like experience where you will actually have some hands-on with children. So let's move forward and talk a little bit about what the expectations are. So first of all, here's our team. Myself, Carol, and I'm an instructor in ECE 280 and I co-teach with Rui Gregory. She is located in Union Baker in La Grande area. And then Tammy Short, of course, is our program director, and she's located in Pendleton, and she is the person that you contact for some guidance as far as courses that you need to take. So when you're doing the CWE, it's kind of a hybrid course. So you'll have a portion of that online, and you'll have a portion of that you'll do in person in your ECE CWE site. So you first of all need to contact the folks that you would like to do your placement work with. So that could be a Head Start program or an early childhood special education classroom or a public school classroom, and it needs to be 0 to 8. And probably it's a good thing to maybe contact Tammy or myself or Rui first to talk about where we think is a good place for you to have your setting. Okay? The next thing you're going to do is to acquire your text. And there's a text slide, so you'll be able to see what that is. Review your syllabus. Make sure you make a copy so you have that for your records. And you want to complete your paperwork for the first week. So part of that is contacting the people that you're going to be working with, and you have a letter of agreement that you're going to do with them, or it's kind of a contract. You want to make sure that that information is correct, and that all gets turned into Rui or myself depending upon which section you're in. There are some things that you'll need to do each week. First of all, you'll need to complete a discussion question by every Wednesday. You can certainly do that earlier. And then do your follow-up on that on Saturday or by Saturday that week. And then there's a journal and also an assignment that you do, as well as in weeks 3, 6, and 9, you'll have a quiz. Here's the required paperwork that you'll start with in your first week. There's a letter of introduction just in case the people that you're wanting to work with aren't quite sure what it is that we're up to. There's a confidentiality statement that you will need to sign. Of course, all the work that you do with children in an ECE setting is confidential. There's a student expectations page that you'll sign, a training agreement, which is that contract I was referring to, your immunization records, and you will keep timesheets to record your contact time in your setting. Okay, and there's a place for you to submit that information, and actually it's in the journal page and not in your application assignment. So your text is Early Childhood Field Experience, Learning to Teach Well. It's the second edition by Catherine Williams, and it's Ann Miles. And you can find that it's actually an e-text as well as a hard copy, and you can find that either at the bookstore, or you can order it online, or you can actually go ahead and get your text in e-format in the course. There's a syllabus, and here's a link for it. I hope that link works, because I'm not quite sure, since I'm working on this during the summer, whether or not it will actually link to the course or not. But if it doesn't, there's definitely a syllabus in the course that you can copy. Here are the tasks that I mentioned. Your cafe that you have every week, which is your weekly discussion. Your application assignments, which are due on Sunday. Your quiz, and your journal. And your discussions are because you have a quiz in weeks 3, 6, and 9, they will be the other weeks, so it'll be 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8. Okay? There are 2 tracks. So if you're a first timer to the CWE or you're only taking 1 credit, you will have 1 track, that's the first track. And then if you're a returning student to the CWE, you will do track 2. If you're not clear about that, then you want to talk to your instructor, either Rui or myself, about that. So here's your contact hours. And with your CWE, you're going to be expected to have some contact hours with your CWE site. And for each credit is 33 hours. So for 1 credit, for instance, it will be 33 hours, but for 2 credits, it will be 66 hours. So it's very important that you are able to make that commitment. If you have trouble with that, you want to make sure that you contact Rui or myself about that. You'll be setting goals while you're in your CWE setting. You are going to be doing 1 goal that's related to your academic goal, and that would be what you're doing with children and or families. And then your second goal is going to be related to your professional growth, and that would be your affiliation with ECE programs or your training and that kind of thing. Okay, so 2 different ones. They are kind of easy to confuse. So just remember that one is going to be about what you're doing working with children, and the second one is going to be your professional growth. There are some coaching visits that you have that are attached to the CWE. The first one is your contact with your instructor. So it will be a phone contact, or you could actually even do a Zoom contact if you want to, just to talk about the expectations of the class and just kind of chat about what we're going to do moving forward. The subsequent visits can be done either on site at your CWE setting, or you can also do those by chatting, Zoom, or a phone if travel is not possible. Sometimes the weather doesn't really cooperate with us, or in times where it's not easily accessible to go to a site. For instance, if there's illness, then we will do something different, like visit via the phone. Your visits are topical. They're related to your placement, your tasks, your goals, and whatever else is needed to help you to get through this course. There's a final project, of course, and it is not going to, it's going to be in place of an exam instead of an exam. So your project is going to be related to all of your ECE experience. So this is kind of your journey. And basically, your final project is your recounting of your journey through this term. It will be related to one of the goals that you pick, and you can visit with your instructor about what might be a goal and what might be doable, and we will help guide you with that. It can be in a PowerPoint, a Word document, or Adobe, or an acceptable presentation mode. And it is due in week 10. So just to wrap up just really quick, this is just a brief overview, and there's much more that you can discuss with your instructor. But here's our contact numbers, and know that we are available within 24 to 48 hours of a question. We can get back to you. We prefer that you call and leave a message if you can't get a hold of us, and we'll get right back to you when we can. There's also an email contact. The same is true there. Be sure to talk to your instructor about whether or not texting is preferable. That's all that I have for this, and hopefully it is something that will help you to understand what your CWE looks like, and maybe help for a little bit to get you started. Typically, your forms and all of that information is going to be available online in the CWE website But we will also have copies of them available ourselves if you get stuck. So please let us know if we can help, and we look forward to seeing you online.